I wanted my mother-in-law out after she gave the entire inheritance to her useless son.
He's useless. What is he gonna do with it?
My father-in-law recently passed and left a very sizable life insurance policy to his son and wife. Mother-in-law, late 50s. My wife, 30 female, received nothing. I, 32 male, understood this because her brother, 27 male, is not the brightest, still lives at home, never goes out, and only goes to work and back home to play video games all day. By the way, this comes from Old Memories 1603, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofly, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, they both recently moved into our home as they were too distraught to continue living in the home my father-in-law passed in. My father-in-law was truly the only adult in the home and was responsible for taking care of everything, including driving my mother-in-law to and from work daily, a responsibility that has since been passed on to my wife. I took over the estate planning, paying bills, swapping over policies, and so on. My mother-in-law doesn't speak English and doesn't drive, so as family, it was my pleasure to take on this responsibility.
Opie, that's so nice of you.
That is really nice. Jeez. And they still didn't give any money? After a month and a half, I finally settled all the bills. Funeral planning and all the heavy lifting was complete. Without me, the family would have been lost on what to do. They didn't even know where he worked and were surprised to find out he had life insurance policy. So they're getting money and they didn't even know about it?
Whoa.
They're like, what? That's so sick. Love this. Neither of them have any retirement plans or savings. I suggested a shared bank account for my wife and her mom to put the payout into, where it will accrue interest and also cover monthly bills, since mother-in-law had no bank account before. It was at this point mother-in-law said she would rather not have her daughter on the account and wants to give her portion of the payout to her son instead.
No, what?
Why don't they like the daughter?
Hey, wait, you know what? She does too much for us. Give her nothing.
Give her nothing because she helps.
Golly, dude, that's insane. It's probably an error thing. Oh, you don't need this money, but our son does. He's not doing well right now.
The only thing you get is the satisfaction of a hard day's work.
How else is he supposed to buy V-Bucks for Fortnite?
She reasoned that since my wife and I already have a home, seems like you're right, Riley, the money would be better used on her brother. You're right. We do have a home, but we are by no means rich. In fact, them moving in would help us out financially since there would be extra income from rent. I expressed to my wife that leaving everything to him would be incredibly irresponsible, mainly because he cannot do anything for himself and cannot be trusted with the money. He doesn't have a driver's license, but drives a car to and from work. Well, that's illegal.
I hope he gets caught or something.
You've been breaking the law, my good man.
I understand you have a right to travel, but that is not the way we go about it.
No, sirree. He never helped with the estate and has a large amount of cash just sitting in his checking account with no concept of what to do with it. He has never had a girlfriend and has shown no signs of ever wanting to move out.
Hot take? Thinks she wants to give him the money because guess who's not going to be moving out and who she can be keeping an eye on.
That's true.
Oh, son, I don't want to put all this money in your account. That's just too much. You'd get taxed. Let me keep it in mine.
Yeah. My wife was also the one who took her mom to and from every single cancer appointment.
No!
Wow, your wife did everything for these people, to the point of using all her vacation and sick days. Her brother is not a bad guy, but he just doesn't seem like he'll ever grow to be a responsible person. I told my wife that after agreeing to take them in, it would be a slap in the face to be left with nothing. I told her that her mother and brother should move back to their home and use the insurance payout to cover living expenses in the absence of my father-in-law. She was furious and said, all I care about is money. But I feel this is not so much about money as it is about a complete lack of respect after everything we have done and will continue to do.
Hello, my name is Gerald B. Featherbottom III, and I need advice from OK Storytime.
Okay, Gerald, what do you need advice for?
Well, my extremely wealthy biological father has just passed away, and left his entire inheritance to charity.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
To charity! All I have left is $20 to my name.
Oh, I see. Well, Gerald, you should invest that $20 into a ticket to the OK Storytime live event.
A live event? Whatever do you mean?
May 23rd, live OK Storytime at the Stray Theater in Hollywood. Go to okop.show to get your tickets. They're only $20, and we'll see you there.
And will you get my inheritance back?
You will absolutely not be doing that.
Goody!
May 23rd.
Absolutely.
You've done so much for these people.
OP, I like how you're standing up, man. This is awesome.
Stand up for your wife, and you are doing that. So good job.
I love a good man.
Yeah. Their plan for the family home is to rent it out. They purchased it before interest rates went up and would be set to make $1,000 cash profit every month from it. We also didn't know about the life insurance policy when we took them in. It was only after extensive digging through his records that I found out. My wife also points out that her brother and mom cannot communicate effectively with each other since she only speaks Spanish and he only speaks English. What?
Huh?
Though he understands Spanish and can say simple words. What?
Oh, no. She's definitely going to manipulate the money then, because this is a very complex thing.
Wait, the mom can't communicate with her own son?
No, because he probably just learned and hung out in school learning English and not learning Spanish, or like they wouldn't talk to him in Spanish at home probably. I don't know. That
But
is
she
very
only
interesting.
speaks Spanish, so she's not speaking?
He might have just talked to the father-in-law. Who knows? He said he can understand sample words.
I guess so.
This is weird, dude.
That is where I have been serving as a bridge. Mother-in-law and brother-in-law did plan on paying rent, but my wife and I decided early on to give them a couple of months rent-free since they would still be paying their mortgage, and renting with us on top of that would be a great financial burden.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? And we've got an update 5 months later, but what do you think? You've done so much, OP. You've done so much.
And then you give him free rent? Dude.
Free rent on top of all that.
The day rent is due? Oh, but all this time we didn't have to pay rent. Why do you need rent now? Oh, are you just doing that to take advantage of us so you can keep the money? Oh, blah, blah, blah. That's what's going to happen. What is happening here? They're just going to continue to walk over your wife, man.
But we get an update 5 months later. Sadly, this update is not entirely a happy one. Oh no.
Oh, God.
My wife and I single-handedly helped renovate and restore my mother-in-law's home and rented it out on her behalf. Many months of hard work with very little compensation. For 3 to 4 months of renovating, finding tenants, and coordinating contractors paid by mother-in-law, we were given about $500 for our efforts. During this time, my wife kept telling her mom that this is something her son needs to be doing, as it would be the house they both returned to. He would reply with something along the lines of, "Well, no one told me to do it. No one told me how to do it."
Dude, you were literally 32 years old. No one needs to tell you to do this.
And
You
you're
need to take
also-
initiation, man.
Come on.
Like, you're also gonna live in that house, so why wouldn't you want to, like, have a say in, like, what's happening?
Mother-in-law and brother-in-law have been paying rent to stay with us. Oh, that's good. Another small win. Brother-in-law now takes his mom to work, so my wife comes home earlier and we actually get to spend more time together. Yay!
Okay.
But he still
Positive.
doesn't have a license, so
He
he's
also
still
doesn't
doing
speak
it
Spanish.
illegally.
So he's just like sitting in silent in the car that he can't legally drive.
Ay, ay, ay.
Like,
Hit him with the chancla.
this is super not the time for them to be doing that. Don't do that.
You know, put on a YouTube video on how to learn Spanish and then just go from there.
Go from there.
My grandma never had her license.
Did she drive?
Yeah, all the time. She had 6 kids. She had
oh,
to bring them
dang.
places. Yeah,
Well.
for like her. I don't know how old she was when she probably like 70 something.
Just never caught her.
I'm sure she got caught a couple times.
Our original hope was for brother-in-law to return his portion of the inheritance to his mother, who had practically zero retirement savings, so she could make her mortgage payments and live comfortably in her senior years. That did not happen. Mother-in-law kept her portion, but brother-in-law kept his share as well, and my wife received nothing.
Are you
No
serious?
way, nothing. Like, not even anything at all.
Diabolical.
What?
Yeah. His share now sits in a checking account, earning no interest. Many will ask why I care if he kept the inheritance. It's because we continue to do everything while a man whose net worth is nearly 10 times ours gets to live stress-free playing PS5 all day.
Oh my gosh.
He has no concept of planning for the future or financial literacy, and it should be the son taking charge, not us. My wife went directly to her brother and asked for a share of the inheritance, not even a split down the middle. Just whatever he believed to be fair, given how much we had both done. Every time she approached him, he said no.
Wow.
Wow. My wife mentioned through talks with her mom that they believed her father left him that money with the thought it would be used to help care for his mom and share with his sister a sort of test of manhood. What?
This is not the person to be giving the test. Oh, fun fact, you probably should have been doing tests like this while you were alive, father-in-law.
Yeah, this guy who's proven that he is constantly like failing at things. They're like, yeah, let's test him. Let's give him a bunch of money and see what he does with it. What would you do, John Quinones? This is not the time. My mother-in-law has gone from thinking her son deserves it all to hoping he would do what his father would have wanted and grow up for the sake of the family. Well, maybe you should have planned better. She's cried many tears, expressing that I have been more of a son to her than her biological son. I don't care.
This is your fault, mother.
Yeah.
You could have done something here. What are we doing?
I don't know.
God, how many V-Bucks do you think he's bought by now?
So many.
70,000.
Oh my gosh, that's like,
All of his money is invested into V-Bucks.
that is worth 80K right there.
Yeah.
70,000. He
Yeah.
probably has.
Because of my father-in-law's passing, mother-in-law is able to add her son and daughter to the mortgage, which is another win for my wife as she will also have a share in the home. These changes in my mother-in-law's thinking happened over time as we helped her understand that her daughter deserves equal standing, not just a woman meant to serve. She even came to see this after living with us and watching how our household actually works. Overall, my wife is in a better place with her mom, and so am I. But sadly, her relationship with her brother has not improved.
Ugh.
By the way, it would improve our relationship if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
This family dynamic kind of reminds me of how my mom is approached in her family. Because whenever my great-grandpa was like getting ill, or before that, she would always go and make sure he had his meds, his bank accounts were right. Like
Yeah.
anything adulting, she would be the one to handle that. And then whenever he started getting worse, she was begging our family, please, like, someone please help me. He's getting worse. I don't think he's going to make it through the year. And it seems like this is how OP's wife is being treated, where she's the one that the family sits on her shoulders.
They take advantage of her. They know
Yeah.
that she'll help and that in a way she kind of will allow it because she loves them.
She loves them. OP, I hope you guys can talk about where the line is. Have we crossed it? Have we crossed it 2 years ago? When do we cross it? And they say, why is it about the money? Well, if it wasn't about the money, why are you guys withholding it?
Yeah.
You know, because money is a state of stability, and I would say a form of love, because that kind of shows, oh, here is some money. I want to make sure you're stable.
Mhm.
And they're not showing that at all.
Nope. I have saved the worst part of the update for last. No. Brother-in-law still does not have a license or insurance, and as of last week, we found out his registration has also expired because of this. Can you have registration for a car that you're not legally allowed to drive?
If your mother owns it.
He's simply not responsible. I told my mother-in-law not to let him ask family members to register the car under their name, as it will only enable him. And she has agreed. Okay, that's a start. I sat him down and explained the severe consequences if he is ever stopped by law enforcement. Up until that point, I had continued helping with all payments, medical arrangements, and paperwork. Finding that expired registration letter was the final straw. My wife and I told him we would no longer be doing everything for him and would only step in if there was something truly important he did not understand. Mother-in-law agrees, and while she thought it was harsh, she understands that tough love may be the only way to get through to him. Sorry, Reddit, I have done my best and will continue trying, but there's only so much stress a person can handle. You've gone through a lot of stress, guy.
I think you've gone past the point of stress that you can handle.
Yeah, you're just like,
It's too much.
Wife is added to the title as well, and with mother-in-law's inheritance, there's practically no risk of default. Okay,
I don't know what that means.
Is this better?
I don't know. Good luck, though.
That was adult terms that none of us understood.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
added
thought,
to the title.
I thought that was just me. I just assume.
Hold on, I might be able to figure it out.
I know nothing.
How you doing, Savannah? You still didn't say anything.
Yeah, because I really didn't understand all of this happening. Like, I was really confused by that story. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about, like, adulting or, like, money
That's what
things.
I was just going to say.
Money stories,
Yeah, okay.
I tune out. And I'm sorry, and I try not to. But I get confused, and then I'm like, ugh.
But that's the end of that story, folks.
All right.
My brother tricked his wife into naming their kids after comic book characters.
Wait, I don't know any. I would give an example, but I don't know any.
Like Spider-Man?
This is my kid, the Flash.
This is my kid, Green Lantern.
I can't figure out if I did anything wrong. Or if so, what? Because I honestly have no idea what's going on. Hopefully someone here can give me a clue. Here's the relevant info as far as I know. My brother and his wife are expecting their first girl after 2 boys. I love Ricky and Jace, and so does my sister-in-law, but she has always wanted a girl and is very excited to be having one. She also wants to name the girl Chloe, as she loves that name. My brother hates the name Chloe and really wants to name their daughter Stephanie. Stephanie! They have been arguing about it for a few weeks since finding out the gender. By the way, this comes from just being honest for. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And Opie says, I got to my parents' house late last night, and my sister-in-law was the only person still awake. We talked for a little bit, and she asked me the weirdest question. She asked me if I knew any stories about Great Aunt Stephanie. I was so confused. I literally said, who?
Oh, no.
What? Comic book character Stephanie.
I think we're about to find out. But, dude, he went that route with it, though?
Yeah, he lied. He said, no. It's important to me because my great aunt, Stephanie. Sister-in-law clarified that she was talking about our grandmother's older sister that passed away when grandma was a little girl. Our grandma had 2 sisters, but their names were Judy and Lynn. There's no one in our family named Stephanie as far as I know. I told as much to my sister-in-law. She changed the subject after that, and we soon went to bed. This morning, my brother and his wife were both sulking during breakfast. Even the kids could tell. Ricky kept saying, stop being grumpy on Christmas. So it wasn't just my imagination. I got my brother alone and confronted him. He snapped at me for meddling and told me to stay out of his marriage. OP didn't do anything.
Okay, I got Stephanie.
Well, I think we'll find out, so don't tell us yet. My brother is pissed at me, and my sister-in-law won't even talk to me. I'm afraid to say anything to my parents and drag them into this, especially since I still don't know what this is. Either my grandmother had a secret sister that I don't know about, but my brother does for some reason, or my brother lied to his wife to convince her to name their baby Stephanie. Both options seem equally weird to me. Maybe there's a third possibility I'm not seeing? And Reddit, am I the a-hole? If so, please explain to me why. I don't want to be the reason Christmas is ruined, and we've got comments. But OP doesn't even know what's going on. You're not the a-hole.
So brother-in-law.
Yes.
Is
no,
the
brother.
One, oh, brother.
Sister-in-law. Yeah.
Brother wants to name them after the comic books.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh.
That's just in the title. So far, all we know is that brother wants to name his kid Stephanie.
Yes. And the wife
sister-in-law
wants to name it
his wife.
Chloe.
Yes.
And then the grandma had an older sister.
And brother
presumably
told
Stephanie.
his wife that the sister's name was Stephanie.
So
But it's not
basically, he's
real.
lying about the name
Yes.
Stephanie. Baby
Got
name
it.
Stephanie.
So he just really wants. So
He
this
just
is
really wants
big,
Stephanie, and we don't know why
fatty,
yet.
fat lie.
It's a
Got
weird
it.
tactic. If I was the brother and I confronted him, like, don't be meddling. What are you planning, man? Maybe
What am I
put me
meddling
in.
in?
Yes, maybe I could be on your side. Maybe I'll support you, but I have no idea what you're doing here.
Yeah, he's like, don't meddle in things you don't understand. And you're like, I didn't even understand I was meddling. Relevant comments. More info. My brother thinks Stephanie is the perfect name and hates any suggestion that isn't that. He picked Ricky's and Jace's name, so my sister-in-law feels it's her turn. And I'm somewhat inclined to agree, even though it isn't my place to say so. And my brother should accept what she likes. Well, to be fair, his wife also liked the name Richard, so that was sort of a mutual pick, even though he suggested it. But she counts it as his pick, and he says they decided mutually. For their second son, he really, really wanted to name him Jason.
What?
Dick, Jason, and Stephanie.
Yep.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Wait,
Dick
who?
Grayson,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Todd, and Stephanie who plays
Brown.
Batgirl.
Yep. got it.
These are all the Bat children. He's Batman.
We haven't connected it yet. But I'm so happy you figured that out. Oh my god. Yes. I gotta name my kid Stephanie now.
I don't know any of this.
really hope that
We'll break it
anyone
down.
in the
I'm not a
comments
frickin' nerd.
figures this out. And she thought it was a fine name, so she just went with it. But she's way more passionate about Chloe than she was about any of the boy names she suggested when pregnant with Jace. Update. Oh boy. Most awkward Christmas Eve dinner ever. Everyone now knows what my brother was doing with the kids' names, except the kids, obviously. They're pissed. Weirdly, my mom is the most pissed. A Christmas truce is in place for the kids, so no fighting on the holiday. However, the baby is definitely gotta be named Chloe. My brother very quickly backed down when my mom said some few choice words to him. The topic is completely banned for the rest of the festivities, so for now at least, they've tied a bow on the sitch. Christmas morning update. Aside from some glaring over a couple of the boys' stocking stuffers, Robin Funko Pops, and Savannah, that's because Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are both Robins. Like, you know, Batman and Robin. There have been multiple Robins.
Oh.
And those are two of the Robins.
Oh.
Everything went well with the gift giving, as well as being woken up at 5:30 a.m. by being jumped on by one's nephew, Can. I think my brother realizes he crossed a line and has been very attentive to his wife. He mentioned getting Chloe's name embroidered on some stuff when they get home. He even told Mom he would do the Christmas breakfast so she could have a break. And he gave me an I'm sorry grin when I opened his gift. I think everything is going to be fine. The comment that put it together. So we have the comment that maybe clued OP in. Anonymous says, so is Stephanie, she was Robin before Batgirl or someone. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't really know Stephanie either until reading
I'm not
about
as
it.
familiar with Stephanie. I mostly know my DC lore from Young Justice and like,
Gotcha.
the animated
If,
stuff.
if you look up Batman's kids, she's not usually mentioned.
Yeah. Comment. Your brother is a comics fan, right? Is he by any chance a big Batman fan? Because I'm seeing a kind of pattern with these names. OP says, yeah, big time. How did you know? Comment says, let's just say if this baby had been a boy, he would have suggested Tim.
Yep.
OP says, that was the name he wanted if they were having a boy. How did you know that? Comment says, these are all the names of the former Robins, as in Batman and Richard Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne. OP says, I'm going to confirm this on Wikipedia, but if you're right, and I can't imagine why you would make that up, my brother is about to be in so much trouble. And there's an update.
Oh, dude, this is pretty dope, though.
This is very funny. Update! I told Mikey and his wife that I posted on Reddit. Mikey was confused that I figured out what he was doing because he knows I have no interest in comics. So I sent both of them the post. Mikey was really embarrassed when he read what many of you said. Mikey is playful and loves his kids more than anything. Our family has always been one to tolerate small, short-term white lies for the sake of harmless pranks. However, Mikey's lie wasn't small, short-term, or harmless. He hurt his wife's feelings deeply. Mikey says, and sister-in-law confirmed, that he was never insistent about naming my oldest nephew Richard. There were other names he suggested, but she liked Richard, so they picked it. Mikey spends a lot of time with Ricky. He often takes him to job sites and lets Ricky pretend to be his assistant. He has this playful thing with Ricky that he's Mikey's sidekick and they're a team. It's sweet. Here endeth the sweetness. When my sister-in-law was pregnant again, Mikey wanted to replicate the Robin thing. He went, I have an opportunity. It's my moment. He wanted to name this son after the next Robin, Jason.
Jason Todd.
My sister-in-law wasn't as big of a fan of that name, but she also didn't have a name she loved. Mikey was very persistent about the name, so she decided it was fine. He never told her why he wanted that name, just said he really liked it. My sister-in-law said to him, and to me as well, she didn't have a problem with the fact that he got the name from a comic book. She gets what the meaning is to him, even though she doesn't like comics, and she does think it's cute. Her issue is that he lied by omission. Even though she wouldn't have cared about the name, he lied, just in case she might have. And if it had been something she wouldn't have approved of, she would want to have been able to say no. However, even this she would not have been too mad about. The lie of omission became an active lie when he made up a family member to convince her to name the next kid after a Robin. Stephanie.
That's true.
when there was a girl named she loved Chloe. That's not a small lie for a cute prank.
Also, Chloe is from Smallville.
Dang. He's like, I'm still winning. No big deal. Even though Mikey was defensive initially after they had a private conversation this morning, he realized how wrong he was and apologized. My sister-in-law said he was very sincere, and Mikey has never been good at faking sincerity. He feels very bad for taking advantage of her trust. He feels even worse that it involved their kids. By the way, you can feel good if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Well, in my notes, I said, what's wrong with naming them that? And we figured out it's not the naming, it's more of the reason behind it, that it was
The
like
lies.
a whole lie. And I
Yes.
understand that. And
Lies
then
are
I also
bad.
put, this could just be a weird coincidence.
He's like, what?
Like,
What? No way.
No.
I had no idea.
As he hides his comic books behind him.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think it is weird, but also it's his passion, I guess. But the thing is, he should have said, like, oh, we should name him after the, thing. Sofa King also says she could be Chloe Stephanie. Could be a middle name now.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
But there's a little bit left. This whole thing has soured my sister-in-law on the name Chloe. Now it only reminds her of the fight and hurt. She wants to come up with a completely new name. Maybe one related to her hobby, like Mallory or Rita. What does that have to do with her hobby? She's gonna take some time to not think about it. Their marriage isn't in danger, but a wound is there. Now that Mikey has admitted fault, it can heal, and it will with time.
Maybe you should suggest Selena. Selena Kyle.
Yeah, I like it. If you learn anything from Mikey, learn that everyone makes mistakes. If someone truly loves you, they can usually forgive you. However, to earn that forgiveness, you have to admit to what you did, not double down and try to trick your way out of it. And that's the end of the story. And there
Dang.
you go.
Well, he still basically won. Because she didn't notice it until like later on.
Didn't
So,
notice until OP found out from Reddit. So
yeah.
Dude, if my brother did this and I was planning something and he wasn't on my side,
yeah,
I'd be pretty pissed at him.
it'd be like, what the heck?
I don't
I
understand.
had a whole thing going on.
Right. I think, OP, you're kind of the a-hole. You didn't bring your brother aside and talk to him about it. I would at least give him an ultimatum if I really felt bad.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you're either going to tell her or I am. Not just send the post to him in a group chat. What the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's tough.
I do not like the way you went about that, OP.
It seems to have gone well, but yeah, maybe not. But that's the end. Cowboy Scott says, name the baby Gwen Stacy. Low key, I've been thinking about it. And I don't want to name my baby after Gwen Stacy, but I was thinking about the name Guinevere and like shortening it to Gwen.
Don't you have a
See, I
friend?
like Genevieve.
Don't I have a friend, Guinevere?
Yeah. At that party that one time?
Yeah, there was a party recently.
The winter solstice?
Oh, yeah. No, when we
That's what
just
I'm
went to, when we were just at your house for Easter, the girl who was there.
Her name
No,
was
that was-
Guinevere?
Genevieve.
Oh,
It was
Genevieve, whatever.
It's totally different. Because I like the
Your
like
cousin,
Camelots.
You said Guinevere. That was Maddie's friend's name.
I don't care.
What is happening right now?
I'm just saying I like the name Guinevere.
Yeah, that's her name.
Okay? I've only met her once.
Anyways, whatever.
Riley, you're going to like my name if I ever have a girl.
What? Is it Riley?
It's Eden.
Aw, Eden. Like,
love
aw,
I
that's
knew an
cute.
Eden.
I love the name Eden. You
She's
call
okay.
her Biggie. Here comes the Biggie. I just think of my dad saying that, and I would love it. Here comes Biggie.
So far, I like the names Gwen and Lucy.
Oh, my cousin's name's Lucy.
Lucy. Lucy's cute.
She's fun.
What if I name my kids Arthur
Citrine.
and Gwen? That's kind of weird, though, because they're married.
She named one Pam.
Pam?
My number one boy name is Casey. I love
Casey.
Casey for a guy.
Philip,
Abraham DeLacy.
Philip and Lee.
Thomas
I also like
O'Malley.
Levi.
That's my cousin's
I
name.
know a Levi.
Levi's cute.
Yeah, one
right?
of my family friends' kids is named Levi.
Yeah, Levi's cute.
Levi is a cute name.
My mother-in-law picked the most inappropriate songs for the mother-son dance at our wedding.
If I want to get down and dirty with my son, I'm going to do it in front of everyone.
We are doing bride father and groom mother dances at the reception. The other day, future mother-in-law sent my fiance her list of potential songs she'd like him to pick from. She prefaced this with something along the lines of, I spent all day thinking about our relationship, and these are the songs that I think really capture it. Uh-oh, where's this going? Keep in mind that my fiance is both an only child and her, quote, miracle baby, and she openly objected to me for a very long time. By the way, this comes from Aesop's Fuzzy Socks, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I'd like to highlight some of her suggestions and my favorite lyrics from them. First one, If We Hold On Together by Diana Ross. Someone is praying, please let us come home to stay. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never pass away. Where clouds roll by for you and I. That's not that bad. That sounds okay, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Next one was You Are the Sunshine of My Life by Stevie Wonder. And if I thought our love was ending, I'd find myself drowning in my own tears. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always stay around.
Cute.
Cute.
I still don't see the problem here.
Yeah, cute. ABC by Jackson 5. But without the roots of love every day, girl, your education ain't complete. The teacher is going to show you how to get an A.
How to get an A.
What? It's really funny, me, like...
Yeah.
Reading it and not doing those.
Yeah, but it's also because I don't know these songs like that. Like, so, like, I am truly just reading this. But anyway, next song was Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John.
Great movie. I mean, well, yes, Lion King is a great movie.
Lion King,
Yes, of
great
course.
movie.
I meant to say great song, but also great movie.
But Opie says, yes, the song synonymous with the Lion King scene of two lions doing it. Well, they don't, like, explicitly do it.
Yeah.
They just, like, are rolling around in the jungle.
I mean, well, can you feel love?
It's just love. People
Yeah,
make
it's just
jokes about how
love.
they're, like,
Yeah.
DTF in that song, but, like, they're not.
Yeah.
It
I don't know.
still is a kid's movie. Love doesn't need to always be just boinking, all right? Van Campinator says the doing it is implied. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it in a while. Anyway, when the heart of this star-crossed Voyager beats in time with yours, and can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. Considering the optics and overall ick, Fiance was not happy with the list. Meanwhile, with everything we've been through, I've had no choice but to adopt the mindset of what's gonna happen next and just laugh these things off. Hopefully some of y'all can laugh with me. Disclaimer, I know this isn't the most high-octane wedding drama, but I just had to share because wedding planning has been a bit of a slog lately, and this recent development was equal parts cringe and questionable, also pretty entertaining to me, but not so much my fiance. Also, happy to report that without too much extra drama, they will be dancing to What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong instead. LOL. We do have some comments, but yeah, what do we think about those songs?
I don't know. I feel like if it has meaning to you, like, just do it. Like, it could, obviously, like, it could have meaning to many different people. It's art, so people, it's subjective. People
Totally.
think of, like, you know, a song reminds you of this, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But, like, if it reminds you in, like, a good, wholesome way, like, why not? And also, I've seen daddy-daughter dances where they're, like, funny. They're, like, choreographed. I actually choreographed my friend's wedding dance for her, her first dance and her dad's dance.
Oh,
I did both of them. And he was like, was it good? Was it bad? Like, it was pretty bad.
Oh.
But he did. But he's not by any means a dancer. Neither is she. It was just, like, kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
And, of course, like, it could either, you could take it an emotional level.
Yeah.
Or you could take it to, like, no, we're going to, like, freaking rock out because we're going to celebrate.
Yeah. There's fun ways that you go with it. I feel like those songs, the only one that I really know, or the ones that I really know out of that list are like Can You Feel the Love Tonight and ABC. The other ones I'm not so sure of what the implications are.
So-
Well,
Spicy time.
got it. Because Can You Feel the Love Tonight, that is definitely not a mother-son kind of love. So
Yeah. I mean, it is, like, kind of insinuating. So,
I get why he'd be a little bit weirded out.
yeah.
too. Especially if, like, she has already been kind of that overbearing mother of, like, you'll always love me more, right? Then, like,
Oh,
you know what I
God.
mean? If she's been like that kind of mom,
Oh,
then I guess
no.
it makes sense in the
Oh,
context how
God,
weird that would be.
no.
But we do have some relevant comments here. IH123456789 says, you are being a bit absurd about this. There is a high chance that his mom didn't pour over the lyrics with a fine-toothed comb as you have done. For example, "You are the sunshine of my life" is a nice sentiment, and perhaps how she feels about her child. It is just not as deep as the two of you are making it out to be. Opie says, "I hear you, and for just about any other situation, would not have thought too hard about this. My dad and I are dancing to something more unconventional too." But this is also the same woman who wanted for us to go on a cruise with her for our honeymoon with connecting rooms.
There's only so many times you can give her a pass.
Yeah, she wanted to go on your honeymoon.
No,
Or-
mommy.
yeah.
You were not getting married.
No.
Oh, no, mommy, please. No.
Please.
That's not it. It's not it.
The same commenter says, "In that case, I still don't know why you're fixating on the song. The song is the least of your problems."
It's true.
He's like, I know.
Yeah. Opie says, "I get that. Believe me." LOL. "I was mostly sharing to laugh a bit and see if others can relate. We moved past the song. I'm not worried about my fiance. He's honestly been amazing about learning to set boundaries over the course of our relationship and has always put us first. I'm very proud of him. We've accepted that this is just who she is, so we focus on what we can control and laugh off the rest, if that makes sense." Chronically Thinking says, "I hope Can You Feel the Love Tonight is the final decision." Why? That way everyone can see how bat crap crazy your mother-in-law is.
But the problem is that I feel like they would just assume that you guys picked the music. And then,
Yeah. Right? I feel like most people would assume that you had something to do with it.
Yeah.
So, and you did, so.
Yeah. It's like when people choose cherry wine for their weddings, which is about.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like a really popular wedding
Wait,
song.
what? Oh,
By
that
Hosier.
song.
The Hosier.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like that's the wine they serve at their wedding.
No,
Ew, why would they serve cherry
I was like,
wine?
That's
love-
abuse. Like what?
I love
Just so
cherry
disgusting.
wine. Like
the song, yeah. it's
yeah, the
beautiful.
song. It's so pretty, but not for a wedding.
No.
That's funny. Yeah, we do got to look into things. When we're choosing a song to be like a meaningful
Yeah.
like moment, you do got to check out the real meaning of the song.
Can you imagine slow dancing to cherry wine and then really listening to the lyrics like,
Oh.
Opie says, "That was the one that made me start laughing, especially when my fiance described it as the pièce de résistance." Delicious Counter 29 says, "I think the people that are criticizing you didn't experience the lion spicy sleep scene in the same intensity that we did. This crap is hilarious, especially if that's what made your fiance lose it on her. The Lion King spicy sleep song to a wedding." Yeah, between a mother and son too. If like OP and her husband were dancing to that song, it'd be like chill.
yeah.
But yeah, whatever. Please do not consider the opinion of whoever doesn't see the absurdity in this. Opie says, "Appreciate it. LOL. That was basically the reaction of my maid of honor. The Lion King spicy sleep song at a wedding with her son?" And we do have an update. Yeah, I think that's all super fair.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if she's picking terrible songs, maybe give her choices. Be like, "Oh, actually, like, we were thinking this one or this one." And maybe she'll be like, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe she just doesn't understand. I don't think
Yeah.
she's trying to be weird on purpose.
Totally. I
But-
agree. Because I think, too, like, the Lion King one, I feel like that was a meme at one point where people were, like, joking about the bedroom eyes that she was giving him in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And she was probably not on social media seeing all that same stuff. So, like, that's probably why it's, like, more obvious to people a bit younger than her, perhaps. But not quite obvious to her. But I digress. We have an update 6 weeks later. I made a lighthearted post a little while back about my mother-in-law's interesting choices for the groom mother dance at our reception. It had gotten a little bit of attention, and a couple people asked me for an update. So I wanted to share how it all went at the actual wedding. As a quick reminder, my mother-in-law has a bit of a questionable attachment to my husband. He's her miracle baby, her words, only child and only boy in the family. So you might get the picture. Hence the real icky tones to most of the songs that she originally picked out. My husband had already been dreading this part of the wedding and had worked out a hand signal with the DJ to indicate if he, the husband, wanted to end the song early. You're probably thinking, why not skip it then? And please believe me, if he had, she would have lost her mind. She was already being volatile over other things. I supported him either way, but he ultimately made the decision to just go through with it. In hindsight, he probably shouldn't have. And by the way, you probably should listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime. You'll find all of those episodes. We have a little bit more to the story. I'm excited to find out exactly why he shouldn't have gone through with it.
Yeah, so
What are our guesses?
I mean, well, what song did they pick?
Well, apparently they picked the It's a Wonderful World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The thing that comes to mind is she just started bawling and like crying hard. But I don't know.
see that.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I don't
Unless
know.
you have a guess.
No, I don't know what like would be the problem other than unless she went behind his back and was like, oh no, this is the first dance. I don't know. But he also
maybe?
has a cue for the DJ, so I feel like they're on pretty good.
I feel like she was just weird.
She could
But
just
in what
really be
way?
weird.
Just weird.
I feel like she was just weird during the dance.
Yeah. All right. Let's find out. The woman spent the entire dance with her hand on his butt.
Weird during the
Repeated-
dance.
Repeatedly patting, holding her hand against, and even full on grabbing it. It was absurd. Okay, that thought did cross my mind. Should have gone with my gut.
Oh, she wants to F her son. What a freak we got in the
What is this? Back to the Future? Come on.
Oh, God. Yikes.
Oh, man. To the point, my husband started trying to signal to the DJ to end the song, not even 30 seconds in.
Yikes.
I checked in with my husband immediately afterwards to make sure he was okay. He was all right, a bit angry, a bit embarrassed, but he decided to let it go as to not affect the rest of the wedding.
Yeah.
Luckily, he is able to lightheartedly talk about it now when people bring it up. Because yes, people noticed. A lot of them. So folks, learn from us. If you don't want to do a parent dance, just don't. Even if your spouse is opting to do one with their parent, go with your gut. And edit, the song they danced to ended up being What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. And we have some final comments here. One commenter said, she made a fool of herself in front of everyone that was there. How can any adult not realize how inappropriate they are with their own grown child? Be careful with her around any children you might have. Oh, that's honestly a good point. Opie says, happy to say that we are 100% child-free, and that's not changing. Thank the Lord. And that's the end of that story.
Wow. So she wanted to marry her son. And that's crazy and gross.
That's super gross.
I didn't like that ending at all.
No.
I could only imagine, like, if I was like, you're getting married, and then, like, the mom, like, picks this, like, song, we're like, okay, whatever, blah, blah, and she just starts, like, going for it. Like, during the song, I'd be like,
No.
is anyone gonna do anything?
Yeah.
Everyone's watching this. No one's
Right.
gonna step in. No one's gonna, like,
Or I do wonder, I mean, not to really do not want this to sound victim blamey at all, but I wonder, like, if he was able to, like, scooch her hand or something like
It
that.
feels like there's a lot of scenes in movies sometimes where like a man will be dancing with an older woman and she's just like that and he's just like this and then she goes yeah. So
Yeah.
I wonder if that was happening where he was moving it and she would just be like
Right. It was like constantly. Yeah, and then it's just even weirder that in this situation they are so related. As related as you can be. So,
not
yeah.
at the wedding.
Come on. In front of everyone when everyone is like staring at you guys.
Okay, now I think it would have been 10 times worse if they went with Can You Feel the Love Tonight, because that would have been crazy.
She was trying to feel the love for
She
sure.
really, okay, so maybe she did have all of this planned.
Maybe.
You know, now that I'm looking back on the story,
Yeah.
she's a freak.
Yeah.
he's a freak. That's what they should have played.
She's a
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's the end of that story. We've got another one coming up.
We actually just have comments.
These comments are from the video I Need to Leave My Fiance, and it was posted June 27th, 2025. These comments are from this first story in that episode. And we have a TLDR here. OP has been with her boyfriend for a few years, and for the last 4 months, he has completely stopped paying his share of the rent and bills. His reason is that she was a student with no income when they first got together, so now he thinks she owes him.
Boo.
On top of that, he makes messes and refuses to clean them up. Runs up the utility bill on purpose, smokes in the bathroom,
Ugh.
even though she has asthma, and spent way over budget on Valentine's Day, then handed her $20 to cover most of it. He also told her that her parents should pay for their future wedding. OP is exhausted, barely making ends meet with 2 jobs, and has finally started making a quiet plan to move back in with her parents and get out. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video.
And we've got comment 1 from Sparkles9371. For the first story, the guy was looking for a boyfriend or a sugar mommy. How did breakup never occur to her the whole time? We are always asking that question. And comment 2 from XDreamXMakerX. Listening to the first story reminds me of an ex. I had a roommate, just a roommate, who would do trash and the kitchen. Boyfriend who moved in hated me asking because he claimed most of it wasn't even his trash. Fair enough, but when I also stopped cleaning off his car in PA winter and I also stopped getting food for him so that he wouldn't have more trash, he still didn't get it. If he can't do it without asking, you can also leave without telling him. And comment 3, Joanne Wilkins 5000 says, the first story, if the boyfriend told her right from the start that what I am paying for now for you will mean that once you graduate and get a job, you'll pay for everything, rent, food, etc., and clean and cook for this length of time, I don't think she'd stick around. No girl would. So the expectation for her to pay for him was only a tool to manipulate. It would have carried on indefinitely. Good thing she's out. Now he'll have to pay for himself and find a place he can afford, and he's alone now. Let's hope he doesn't find another girl to abuse. And comment 4 from Deneen. First story, I'm so glad OP listened to the comments and got out. The situation she has with her ex was like the frog in the boiling pot. He had been knocking down her boundaries one by one, gaslighting her and manipulating her along the way, increasing her tolerance for his bad behavior. He had no intention of ever improving himself, but was happy to convince her otherwise. He would have only continued to use and abuse her.
Yeah, I agree with those comments. Yeah, she probably felt like if she brought that up to him, he might have mentioned something about like, oh, so you're only with me because I was paying for you for everything, and like, oh, you're such a gold digger or whatever.
Yeah.
Turned it around on her.
Yep. Isn't that really fun?
Yeah.
I love toxic relationships.
We love them. We love them so much. And we love it more when people get out of them.
Yeah. But those are the end of the comments and actually the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.
Hey, don't leave yet. We have some bonus stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one. I found my biological father, but his wife told me to leave them alone. Ouch.
Ooh, what did your father
Ouchie.
say?
Backstory. It all started a few months before I was even conceived.
Whoa.
We're going way back. My biological mother, let's call her Chloe, was engaged to a man who we will call Carl. So Chloe was working at a Walmart while engaged to Carl and decided to cheat on him with her boss, who we'll call Harold.
Not Harold.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway Adopted Girl, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. We just might read them for ya. So Harold had no idea Chloe was engaged until they had been dating for a while. Things are going well between them until one day Harold catches Chloe on a date with his best friend. Wow, so she's just going down the line.
I was like, wait, is his best friend her OP's dad? But no.
I don't think so.
I think she's literally, she's like,
yeah, she's like, you don't need degrees of separation. I'll be there. I got you.
She's like, I'm going to cheat on you. I'm going to cheat on my husband. I'm going to cheat on him.
This leads to a big fight where Chloe hits Harold and he has to lock her out of the house to protect himself. Oh, wow.
Oh.
She calls the police on him, and due to the crappy domestic dispute laws in their state, they both spent the night in jail.
Oh.
Wow. Somehow, Harold is blamed for the incident and is ordered to take 2 years of anger management and decides to never speak to Chloe again.
Valid. I wouldn't want to speak to her either. She sucks.
A few weeks later, Harold gets a text from one of his friends telling him that Chloe is pregnant and that Harold is the father. Wow. He immediately calls BS because Chloe is not only engaged to another man who is probably the father, but was also being intimate with many other men.
Yeah, he was like, you're not about to mamma mia, mamma mia.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, you're not about to mamma mia.
You can watch Mamma Mia, but you cannot Mamma Mia.
And that's what he said.
And I heard
I heard
him
that
say
straight from his mouth.
So he brushes it off and forgets about it. A couple months pass and Harold gets a call from an adoption agency saying that they need to talk to him.
Ooh.
Chloe has decided to give the baby, hey, that's me, up for adoption, and Harold needs to sign some papers since she put him down as the father. He agrees to sit down with someone from the agency, but only to talk to them about the claims. So he meets a representative and tells them that he doesn't think he's the father. The guy from the agency goes, oh great, just sign here then, and hands Harold the documents to surrender his rights as a father.
Why don't we just do like a little test?
Little quick DNA test.
Look,
He's
quick
there.
DNA. He's right there.
Might as well.
Spit into a cup. I don't know.
Whatever it takes.
Let's like, I feel like, oh, I don't think I'm the, like, we have a way to make sure.
Yeah, that does sound funny. He's just like,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And they're like, okay, cool,
It's like,
I guess.
All right,
Yeah,
word.
sure.
You don't have to be if you don't want
Yeah.
to. You can make that choice, I guess.
Okay.
Meanwhile, with Chloe, she has the baby with her fiance in the room, which gives me infinite respect for him. And the baby is adopted 3 days later.
Does the fiance stay with her?
I guess.
That's
Maybe she
crazy.
didn't know. Maybe she didn't know.
There's
Right?
like he didn't know.
Maybe the fiance didn't know about the cheating. Unless they did.
That's
Hold,
crazy.
please.
No, because she labeled another person on the birth certificate as the father. So I'm assuming he would have seen that.
Mm.
And also they're putting the kid up for
Yeah.
adoption. So
Yeah.
I feel like
And Chloe went to jail. I'm sure that fiance
yeah,
will
I
figure
feel
that
like
out.
the fiance was like, something's up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the baby, who is me, was born with a slew of genetic illnesses, and I end up in the hospital only 20 days later because my kidney was collapsing
my
in on
God.
itself. Wowza. To save time, let's just say that growing up, I spent a disgusting amount of time in the hospital. My health was in a perpetual downward spiral, and every time we found a solution to one problem, a new one would pop up and wreak havoc on my tiny body. It all came to a head one day when I was 13, when I was in so much pain that my doctors thought I was having a heart attack. I wasn't, but hadn't been diagnosed yet, so they had no clue. So after being told by my doctors in the hospital that I had a heart attack, my adopted dad, who we'll call Marcus, freaked out and finally reached out to Harold for the first time. He asked for his medical records so that they could better assess the situation and decide what to do. Here is where the problems started. The first incident. So while I was busy being cripplingly ill, Harold had forgotten all about me and started a new life with a woman he had met a month after my birth. Let's call her Heather because she reminds me of Heather Duke. They had 2 sons at the time, and Harold hadn't told Heather anything about maybe having another kid. To clarify, I wasn't there for this part, so I am only telling what I have been told happened. So Heather finds the email that my dad sent to Harold and absolutely loses her mind. She thinks that he cheated on her or something and blocks my dad on Facebook and starts messaging Chloe on Facebook. So hang on. So
okay, so OP's adopted father,
adopted
right?
father, yes. And then
Messages Harold,
Harold.
possible biological father.
Right. Asking for medical records.
Harold's new boo, Heather, sees this and she's like, "Oh my God, you're cheating
She's like,
on
you
me.
have a baby?
You
And
got a
didn't tell?"
baby." Yeah,
Dang.
and that's where we are.
Now, this is where the story gets a little tricky. I have been told 2 different versions of this event, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure which one is true, so I'll just tell both. So, we have Chloe's version. This is the story of OP's life, Chloe's version. Taylor's version. Heather started sending a mass amount of hate and harassment to Chloe, basically telling her to step off and get away from her man. Heather insisted that Harold wasn't the father and that Chloe was lying. By this point in time, Chloe was already married and had 2 daughters that she kept, one who belonged to her old fiance and one who belonged to her current husband, and had also built a relationship with me. She read me some of the messages that Heather sent during a weekend I was spending with her and my half-sister almost 4 years later. She said, I quote, "Her grammar was atrocious, but I didn't think correcting it was the right way to go." Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Can
she
you-
probably would have been. Yeah. She's
Can you
like,
imagine?
"Hey, girlie, are you cheating with my husband?
Yeah.
You're the worst." And then she types back, "Wrong, you're."
Yeah, she just has like a
Yeah.
what's that called? An asterisk. And then
Yeah, she's like, "YOURE."
That would be hilarious. So now we have Heather's version. Heather reached out to Chloe to talk to her about the situation and what she wanted them to do. Chloe snapped at her and said, there is no way that my parents would put me through a paternity test. Because Chloe said that, they decided to not pursue the test. After these communications, all contact was lost and my dad lost Harold's cell phone number. The whole interaction ended with no paternity test and no medical records. And we have recent events. Okay, now that that's out of the way, here is what has happened in the last month. So my health has progressively gotten worse and I now have to apply for disability if I want to pay for my ungodly amount of medications. Very sorry about that, OP. The lawyer I hired said that having a full family medical history might be helpful. So I asked my super smart friend to track Harold down so I could contact him. Long story short, I got his number and left him a voicemail that was basically me just begging him to help me and that I was sorry for intruding on his life and begging for him not to yell at me. He called back after like 20 minutes and to my extreme surprise, he was happy to hear from me. He said that not contacting me was one of the biggest regrets of his life. We cried together on the phone and I told him about the genetic disorders I have and how I was worried for his kids. He assured me that they were healthy and I cried because I was relieved. We talked throughout the week until eventually he had to fly home from his business trip and tell his wife what was going on. Needless to say, it did not go well. Heather was pissed and demanded that we limit contact until the results of the paternity test came in. Unfortunately for her, it came back positive and confirmed that I am his daughter.
Which could have all been, like, all of this hullabaloo could have been avoided if he had done the paternity test.
Yeah.
When they said, hey, dude, I think this is your daughter. And he said, no.
He said, nah.
He said, I don't think so.
Nah.
Couldn't possibly be.
Yeah, this really could
Yeah,
have.
that's frustrating.
Here is where the story gets sticky again, because I have been told two different versions of what happened during the last week. Harold's version, so many versions.
A lot of versions.
You just can't know what's going on.
Can't keep track of all these versions.
So Harold's version of what happened during the last week. Harold and Heather got into a big fight and she made him tell her sons what he did. Maybe it was meant to humiliate him, but if so, it backfired because his sons were so excited to have a sister.
Aww.
One
She's
of
like, tell him. And he's like, boys,
so
before you were born, I had a daughter. They're like, a sister?
Like, what? One of them compared me to Shazam, I think. Harold left to go on another trip for work, and he and Heather fought right before he left for the airport. He called me while he drove there and told me all of this and said that he didn't want to lose contact with me again. I was so happy he still wanted me around, but I was sad that I screwed up his family. He told me that it wasn't my fault, but I still felt bad. It's not your fault,
Yeah,
OP.
that's not your fault,
The,
no.
the family was screwed up before you even got here. I hate
Yeah.
to break it to you.
Yeah, they screwed themselves up.
Yeah.
If this is how Heather's reacting,
Right.
I don't think that you are the problem.
Not at all. I got Heather's version of events much later at 11 p.m. when I was trying to eat my ramen. She's like, let me just have my noodles.
Trying to eat my ramen.
Just have my noodles in my soup and just leave me be.
Is that a crime?
Come on. She messaged me on Facebook and claimed that this is what really happened. Heather's version. Harold was unhappy about the test and said that I was too much, too fast, but wouldn't tell me that because he didn't want to hurt my feelings.
I don't buy that.
I don't
buy it. Heather's trying to stir the pot.
Exactly.
But it won't be stirred because this is an Instapot.
Because she's
and you don't need to
stirring the
stir
ramen.
an Instapot.
Yeah. They told their sons and they weren't happy about it either. She told me that Harold hardly has time for his kids and I was forcing your way in. Now, I am a very sensitive person and I have a habit of breaking down over the smallest things because of other stuff that's happened in my past, but that's not relevant right now, which is why I'm very proud of how I handled this. I texted Harold and told him that his wife contacted me, and within seconds, he called me and asked me to read what she had said. I read it to him and also read the apology I sent to her. He apologized on her behalf and asked that if it's okay because I sounded like I was crying, which I was, but I didn't want him to feel bad, so I just told him I was fine. I was just tired. I asked him what I should do, and he told me to just be myself. So I apologized to her again and again while she snapped at me, and eventually she stopped, and I got to go to bed. That last part makes
That's
me kind of
terrible.
sad.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry for laughing, but it's like funny in like a oh no kind of way.
I mean,
because
Opie's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, ah.
well, because what's this guy's name? Harold?
Harold.
'Cause Harold is like, it's like, don't worry, just be yourself. Do whatever you would naturally do to respond. And then she's just like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, you don't need to respond like that. You can be
Truly.
yourself, but you don't need to like, you know,
Count.
fall in to all of this.
Mhm.
And again, I don't mean to laugh.
No,
I
but
do feel bad.
yeah, no, I literally hope he's like out here like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels like when you're like trying to pet a dog and it's like, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
it's okay. And they're like, and then they
Yeah.
kind of like get tired. That's what it feels.
Yeah,
They're like,
absolutely. Absolutely. Things were quiet after that, and I tried not to message them because I didn't want to get yelled at again. This morning, I got diagnosed with severe scoliosis and yesterday with epilepsy. And since those are usually genetic, I texted Harold and told him that he might want to get his sons tested for it. Apparently, this was a bad idea because Heather proceeds to message me and then tell me to stop texting them and that I was not helping their marriage. What?
I
That's
feel
on
like
you, girl.
Heather, you're the one not helping the marriage.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would block Heather.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a
don't
great idea.
message Heather. Just
There
don't
you
have a
go.
relationship with Heather, and
There
then
you go.
you can't ruin anything with Heather.
Exactly. I tried to explain that I was just trying to help and asked her to please stop lashing out at me, but she just texted back with, I'm not lashing out. We just want you to leave us alone. Take that we out of there. I know that's not both of you.
Is
That's
that the
just
royal
you.
we?
Yeah.
Are you the freaking king of England?
Yeah.
Or the queen of England, I guess?
Are you? Either way, are
Are
you?
you?
I haven't responded back because her message really hurt and I just shut down and fell asleep to cope. I apologized to Harold, but he hasn't replied to the text, which is making me think that maybe they really do want to leave me.
No, I think that Harold is probably just like getting yelled at by Heather,
Absolutely.
and now like every time he texts you, he's probably, you know, she's like, "What are you doing? Are you texting her? Are you texting
Right.
your daughter?" Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Or I wonder if Heather's even like deleting the messages.
Possibly,
That's
she might
very
be
possible.
accessing. Yeah, because how else would she? I mean, Harold might be telling her about all of these
Sure.
conversations, but also
But he
she might
seems
be
like
looking at them.
he's been like disagreeing with her and stuff. So he's
Yeah.
probably like, if he did see it and disagreed, like he would probably say something.
Probably.
Hopefully. It's making me think that maybe they do really want me to leave them alone, but I also know that Harold told me the exact opposite. My anxiety is having a field day and I have absolutely no idea what to do. My main goal in this situation is to preserve my relationship with Harold and try to get Heather to like me. So what should I do? And there is an update, but what is our answer for her?
Oh man, I think my answer, partially at least, is to block Heather.
Yeah.
Stop responding to her. She clearly doesn't want a relationship with you, and she's trying to sabotage your relationship with your biological father.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be easier for everyone if you're like, hey, Heather, I'm not going to be talking to you from now on.
Right.
I don't think it really matters if you necessarily have, like, you can be nice and you can be, you know,
Yeah.
polite to Heather, but I don't
Right.
think you have to have a relationship with her.
Absolutely not.
Like, she has to get over herself. This is your biological father
Yeah.
who also wants to have a relationship with you,
Right.
and
Right.
she can't stand in the way. I mean, it's not like he didn't cheat.
Yeah, exactly. Like none of this is your fault.
No.
Like,
And you're also an adult, so it's not even like there's
Exactly.
any sort of like care that goes into this.
Right.
Like, you know, in terms of monetary or.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
It
this
wouldn't
is
be
just-
like
Yeah.
a problem in that way. But yeah, no, it's none of this is your fault. If there's problems with their marriage, like even if it was because of things that you were involved in, like that doesn't like whatever you say or like text her or something like that, it's not like they could still have a fine marriage
Yeah.
even without that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like even if they are having problems because of that, it's not your fault. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like they don't have to have problems. because of that.
Exactly.
So just yeah, you just know what you did was right and ignore Heather because she's not making any sense.
Agreed.
But again, there was an update. So, hello. Sorry this update has taken a while to come out, but I promise there's a good reason for it. My girlfriend drove down to visit me for a week and I was preoccupied spending time with her. I was also really hoping that the news I have to share with you would change. So, long story short, I took the advice I was given and muted Heather's messages to me.
Good. That
She
was the
heard you
advice
speaking.
I
She
gave.
heard you speaking and she listened to you.
I love,
Look at
I
that.
love that.
That's amazing. The stuff she was saying to me has really gotten to me, and at this point, I am not quite sure if I'm the bad guy. I called Harold and talked to him about the situation and told him that I don't think it is in my best interest to be talking to his wife. This is where things took a bit of a sad turn.
John, you've been dancing a lot.
I'm going to give you a live demonstration and you're going to see it too.
Show me those hips. Oh, damn. That is a good move. But you know what is Also, an amazing move.
What is that, Sam?
Becoming an OK Storytime member.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Well, let's get back to the story.
Harold agreed with his wife and said it would be best if I just left them alone for a while. That hurts my heart.
The thing is that I don't think that's what he actually wants.
Yeah.
Given how he's talked to you before,
Yeah.
I think this is Heather pressuring him and saying like you're ruining our marriage. All the
Absolutely.
things that she's been saying to you, he's
Absolutely.
been probably getting tenfold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if she's like this, if Heather is being this like crazy wild card, like it just in this situation, like you could just imagine what's been going on in, like any other parts of the marriage, you know. I'm sure he's been getting lots of grief from her.
Absolutely.
I was stunned for a few moments because this is the opposite of what he had told me less than 24 hours earlier. That said, even if he had said something else beforehand, I know that I have to respect his decision. I told him that I would stop all contact, and when he is ready to talk again, it will be on him to message me. That's where the call ended, and we haven't spoke since. Oh my goodness. It sucks. I'm kind of hurt. I have no right to be hurt about it, but I still am.
You have
absolutely
every right to
have
be heard
rights.
about it.
Oh my goodness.
This is your biological father
Yeah.
who you found and wanted to have a relationship with and
Right.
said yes. And then his wife is getting all up in arms about it. You
Yeah.
absolutely have a right to be upset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've come to the decision that it's not my job to make them like me. This was probably not going to end any other way. It's painful, but it's the world we live in. I'm sorry I don't have a happier ending to share, but I'd still like to thank you guys for the amount of support and loving messages I received on my first post. I don't think I could have endured this without you guys and the validation you provided me. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to send such kind messages and helpful advice. I appreciate each and every one of you and am sending you virtual hugs. And there's an edit. Yo, I got on one of the Reddit YouTube videos. Oh, you got on another one too. Let's go. Apparently, everyone on YouTube either thinks the story is fake or that Heather's sons don't belong to Harold. Ooh, interesting. Also, I still haven't heard anything from Harold. I'm starting to think that something is either very wrong or they genuinely don't want me around. I've stuck to my word though, and I'm not contacting them. By the way, we will always stick to our word by telling you that we have more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is and search OK Storytime. And we've got that there for you. I pinky promise you.
Do it.
Pinky promise. But there is a tiny bit more. Edit number 2 in October, 2 things have happened. 1, I needed to reach out to him because my cat got sick again and he works in pet insurance and care, and I asked him for advice on what insurance carrier to use. It was cordial and completely professional, no emotions, and nothing other than business. It hurt to see him act so cold, but that's his life. Number 2, his wife, who my dad, Marcus, now refers to exclusively as Heather, updated her Facebook so that it says, "Stay in your lane, witch," directly under her name when you click on her profile. Whoa. I feel grossed out that she's acting like I'm some jealous lover who wants to steal her man. I'm his kid, not his affair partner.
Literally, she's acting like he's like cheating with this girl.
That's crazy.
This is his daughter.
There's probably other reasons that weren't said that like support that is directly towards OP, but I wonder if that's like towards anyone else though too.
Yeah.
And she's just like this with like
a lot of
everyone that
people.
tries to make a connection with him, no matter what kind of connection it is.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. Also, I'm going down to see my girlfriend this December. She's been the biggest help and support throughout this disaster. If I ever get a more significant update, I'll ask the mods to let me post a part 3. I doubt I'll get one though. I think this is where the saga ends. I have an adopted dad who loves me and a biological mother who loves me. I think I can be content with that. Smiley
Man, oh
face.
man.
And
There you
that's
go.
the end of that story.
There you go.
Wow.
I mean, it's not quite a happy ending, but you
Yeah.
know what? You are not responsible for Heather and
at all.
Harold's behavior.
yeah.
And if they're gonna act this way, that's not on you. That's on them.
I agree. Yeah.
If you want more stories like this, search for our podcast, OK Storytime, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I abandoned my father despite his illness because it was toxic.
You're toxic. I'm slipping under.
I, 36 male, live with my girlfriend, 26, in a small apartment with our 2 dogs. We moved in together in 2020 after both of us had been living at our respective parents' house. It was a huge relief as I wanted to get away from home. I had moved out before, moved out for college for a few years, and moved in with a stepbrother in 2018. I'll probably get more into that in a bit. By the way, this comes from Acrobatic Seaweed 88, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my dad and my stepmom, whom I have known since I was 5 and never really knew my real mom, as she left my dad and I when I was around 2, decided to become snowbirds and fly down to Florida for the winters. They had been talking about this for years and even decided to miss my final year film screening of film school to go look at places in Florida. That was in 2014, and they never actually bought a place until 2019. On January 6, 2022, my dad was trying to repair the air conditioner on their mobile home when he fell off the ladder. Oof. He hit his head and was bleeding from there, as well as a couple broken ribs and broken collarbone. Oh my God.
Ouch.
I did not find out about this right away, as my stepmother, who is absolutely horrendous with technology, said she sent me a message, PM, email, who the F knows, about what happened. After a small argument about not calling me when something like this happened, I learned my dad was in the hospital and the injuries associated with the accident. After a while, my dad is in and out of consciousness, and he's not quite himself due to the head injury. That's the thing, that like the scary thing. When you have brain damage like this, it can just completely change your personality. Yeah, which is very scary. He tried to leave the hospital a few times, and one time the doctor gave him the go-ahead, and I had to call down there. Keep in mind, I'm in Canada, I have no passport, and can't afford to go down there, and tell him that he was not at his baseline and to readmit him. And my stepmother did as well, so she says. Cut to a little while later, Dad has had x-rays and everything else, and completely unrelated to the injury, they found a piece of glass in his lungs that had to be taken out. What the heck?
Oh my God.
And after that, he was pretty much kept sedated and had a breathing tube in. My stepmother had some help from a family friend who flew down to give her a hand. Despite what I think about everyone else in this situation and how everything turned out, I am still and always will be grateful to that one friend of my parents for helping. After a while, it was decided that my dad would be flown back to Canada since US healthcare and insurance, blah, blah, blah nonsense. In most people cases, when a spouse or loved one is injured and has to be flown somewhere else, the other spouse or loved one would go along, right? Well, not in this case. My stepmother called me to ask if she could stay down there because she didn't have anywhere to stay in Canada since they were renting out their house for the winter. More on why this is stupid later. To avoid any arguments, I just said yes. And my plan was to talk to her after everything was done and tell her how not cool that is. And then we could move on. Dad has moved to a hospital about an hour away from me, but it's winter, it's freezing rain, so he's in Canada now, but I can't get to see him yet. A group chat of friends and family was created as to not have to answer 400 emails and phone calls on the incident. In the chat, I asked for help one day, taking some stuff down to my dad, like toiletries, clothing, etc. And everyone had some excuse like, oh, I'm busy, or not today, or maybe another time. These people mostly consisted of my stepbrother, stepsister, some of their kids. And some of their kids. A week later, Dad is able to make calls, and we talk on the phone from time to time, and I finally get to see him once he's moved to a hospital a bit closer, and I do everything. I bring him his clothes, his toiletries, and visit him on a regular basis, while not a single other family member did a dang thing to help him in any way, shape, or form. He's eventually released from the hospital, and he goes to live with my grandmother and aunt until the house being rented becomes free again. What? Okay. Well, I'm confused. So it seems like the OP is pulling all of the weight in terms of medical care, and the step family is just doing nothing?
Sounds like it. Everyone's just like, I don't wanna. And she's like, well, someone's gotta.
Someone gotta do it. Every once in a while, I would call my stepmother and give her updates. One day, I don't even remember exactly what started the argument, but we blew up. Now, this was not unusual, as our relationship has always been strained, and it hasn't been until recently that I realized how messed up our whole family dynamic is. I confronted her about not coming to Canada with my dad and how crappy of a thing that was. Her initial excuse of not having a place to stay was not the real reason. My dad, although undiagnosed, probably has Huntington's disease. 50% I have it as well. Yay me. Ugh. His brother just died of it, his father passed away of it, and has plagued my family forever. My stepmother tried to bring some of this up sometimes, but she would only do it when we were drinking. I would tell her here every time. If she wanted to have a conversation about the disease and all that, I would do it when we were sober, which in my opinion is pretty fair. Yeah.
Sounds like a good way to go about it.
Any important discussion probably shouldn't be had under the influence.
Right.
Also, just for my clarification, so it seems like OP moved her dad to Canada to take care of him, and the mother did not come with?
The dad wasn't flown out to live there, I think. I think he was flown out to like get some sort of operation or something. And then the mom didn't go with for that time.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, that is weird. Someone's like, that seems like a pretty important thing.
Yeah. It wasn't until recently I also realized we as a family basically had a drinking problem. I used to drink every weekend, 24 or more beers per weekend. Whether I was alone or with friends, didn't matter. This is a habit I got from my parental units. Stepmom would get particularly bad sometimes and become confrontational and just belittle myself and my dad. Back to the Huntingtons. My stepmom said he was being very aggressive and loud, which is something Huntington's does. It affects the mind and body, and the patient becomes less of who they are.
Dang.
Motor functions are heavily impacted, and lots more. You can Google for more info. I can't type out any more of the symptoms. It's just too much. Anyways, this was the real reason for not wanting to come back. Partially. Remember when she said she had nowhere to stay in Canada? Some of you may think, why not with me? Besides the fact that I'd rather do literally anything else. I live in a small 1-bedroom apartment, as I mentioned, so we don't have the space. You know who did have the space? My stepbrother, who was renting a 3-bedroom house and probably could have accommodated his own mother. Or you know who else? Her daughter, who lives in a $1 million plus house with a housemaid, government job, lawyer husband. I think they could have found space for her. She doesn't want to come back because it was still winter and she doesn't like winter. So much for in sickness and health. So not only is the stepmom not coming out to be with her husband while he's getting this like major surgery,
Yeah.
she's also not staying with either of her kids.
Yeah.
It's like trying to stay in OP's tiny little place over her kids.
And it's just the mom that's doing that, not the dad
Yeah.
too?
No, the dad's in, he's like getting a surgery and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder, maybe it's like the kind of thing where the mom is like, you know, it's been a long marriage. I need some time alone. she's like this close to
She's
divorce.
like, I can't do it. She's like, this is too much.
Yeah, she's like, I need my own space. What
Yeah.
a great opportunity.
And she's like, oh, he's going to Canada?
Yeah.
Well,
because he's unwell.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, crazy.
After that argument, we didn't talk much or at all. During this time, my dad, while living with my nan and aunt, would occasionally call, and he still wasn't all there due to the head injury, which he would recover from, which is why I didn't believe him when he told me that mom had called him and told him she was leaving him. While he hasn't fully recovered and he's confused as to why he came back to Canada alone, she says she's leaving him. Ooh, yeah, so you were right.
I guessed it.
You were right.
I guessed it.
She's like, I don't want to continue this.
Right. What bad timing though.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I know you're like in the hospital, but like, can you like sign these divorce papers?
Yeah,
really
sorry. Thank you.
quick? Dang.
The kicker is this happened before my stepmom and I had the argument, and she never once mentioned she was leaving him to me. Once I found out it was actually happening, I blocked her number and deleted her off everything else. 25 years of a family relationship gone in a day. Stepsister or brother never reached out to see if I was okay. It wasn't until this that I realized I have never been siblings in their eyes. I was just the kid their mom's husband brought along. They would do birthday dinners or other activities and never invite me. At this point, it's my dad and I against the rest of the family. At least that's what it felt like. Father's Day 2022, my dad is living back home alone. Oh, my stepmom, yep, staying in the mansion that she couldn't somehow stay in before, now has vacancy suddenly. 25 plus years of stuff needs to be gone through and packed and tossed out of the house. Stepmom and step-siblings take care of the dumpster and all that, as they should. I didn't cause this crap. And when they packed my stuff, which I didn't ask or tell them to do, they left all the pins in my posters from the wall. So when I went to go through my stuff, I was stabbed by pins. Oh, so they put the stuff from the wall in like a suitcase or something, and it was just like covered in pins.
John, you've been dancing a lot.
I'm going to give you a live demonstration and you're going to see it too.
Show me those hips. Oh, damn. That is a good move. But you know what is also an amazing move?
What is that, Sam?
Becoming an OK Storytime member.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And it's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Well, let's get back to the story.
They didn't take the pins out of the posters.
Interesting tactic.
Dang.
So I drunkenly post on Facebook how pissed off I am at this family and even show pictures of my stuff with the pins on it. Next day, hungover, dad is still sleeping. Stepsister calls his phone about 45 times, not an exaggeration. I finally pick it up because he's passed out and tell her it's me. I stop her from talking more. She's pissed about the Facebook post and I say after Father's Day. We can talk after my dad has his day. And she refused and just kept calling us. I took the post down to hopefully shut her up. Instead, she called the cops?
What?
On what? On what?
Where did that come from?
Opie posted a Facebook post about her dad.
Yeah.
She told them I was harassing her family and to never contact them again, as per the message the police left on my phone. I'll skip ahead a bit, but rest assured there's more non-response between this time that isn't super relevant. Dad spends a winter in Florida alone, complains the whole time he's there, complains when he gets back. There's no making him happy. During all this time, I know he was having a rough time. He would call me up to 10 times a day asking about random nonsense or asking for help doing banking because stepmom insisted on doing all of the stuff when they were together. So now he's lost. The problem is there's only so much I can do, only so much knowledge I have. And he would get mad at me when I was frustrated from getting 10 phone calls a day. I would sneak off from work to answer a call when I was working. The whole situation completely effed with my head. I already have serious mental health issues, and having to deal with all of this without any help from family was too much. I cut my dad off and was only going to be for a bit to hopefully get a point across. I should also mention he has a family doctor. He was given depression and anxiety meds, but never took them regularly. So he has access and resources to cope, but decided not to use them. When I offer to help, instead, he just brings up the incident to everyone and bad-mouthing stepmom. I wonder if this is after she's already left, I guess?
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, she deserves, and so much more. I have more childhood stories if you need to know why she's garbage. But when that's all you talk about around people who were also her friends, they won't want to be around you. So he continuously alienated himself and wouldn't take any advice. Every time I mentioned meds, he said they didn't work, and I would point out he needs to take them daily and maybe cut back on the drinking. But he always refused. That's so silly. Opie's like, hey, maybe your meds would work if you weren't actively drinking other substances. And he's like, nah.
Or if you actually took your meds.
He's like, that couldn't possibly be it.
Nah.
No way.
But I wonder too, if someone's at that mental state, if they even know the impact that they're having without their meds.
Yeah,
You know
probably
what I mean?
not.
Yeah.
It finally all came to a head after a couple calls where he had badmouthed my girlfriend, who at this point I had been keeping away from as much of this as I could and dealing with this crap on my own. And she would comfort me and console me when it was too much. He called her and said I, as in me, probably have Huntington's, and ever since she came along, I have been distant with him. Yeah, that's what happens when you start a life, but I get it. He's upset. But that wasn't the first time he said this. But it was the last. Opie's putting his foot down, saying, no, you don't get to walk all over me. I cut him off after that. I couldn't hold down a job, a problem I am still having to this day. I filed for bankruptcy, my car was repossessed, and the financial burden I am is straining my girlfriends and I relationship. But we still keep going.
Wow.
He's got tenacity, determination,
Gotta give him that.
perseverance. After doing a small amount of therapy, as I couldn't afford any more, I started to realize my childhood, my parents, frankly, and that is, you gotta have that realization.
Yeah.
The constant drinking swallowed us up so much I didn't realize it until recently. And just to toot my own horn, lost 60 pounds in a year from cutting out drinking alone. Wow.
Whoa.
Weed all day, baby. Remember when I said my parental units went to Florida instead of my final year screening? Yeah, that never sat right with me, but I just never mentioned it. But prior to that, my first 2 years at college, my dad would tell me every time I was home that he told his boss that when my final year screening came up, he would be there to attend. Instead, I sat with a friend's family, which I appreciated the gesture, but felt like pity and wasn't the same. Although thinking now, that person is now engaged to one of my best friends, and her family and even his were more of a family that day than anyone else was. I was pretty lucky and wished I could have appreciated the gesture in that moment. When I was struggling after film school, instead of giving me encouraging words, he just said, "When you're ready to come home, just call me." After spending 3 years telling me to follow my dreams, blah, blah, this was the comfort I got when things were tough. But things are never tough if you go listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search up r/OK Storytime.
Put your life at ease.
Yeah. But there's a little bit left to the story. Those are just a couple of examples, and I know my dad has a sickness, but these issues stem from well before all this, and it wasn't until all of this went down that I could finally see just how messed up my family life was, and I needed to get better. Most recently, I went to the emergency room to get help with my mental health, and have not been diagnosed with possible initiative ADHD, or have now been diagnosed with possible inattentive ADHD, and am now on meds for it, and working on getting better, spending time with the dogs, and driving my girlfriend crazy. I started a podcast last year. No, it's not in my profile, but wanted to mention it as it's been a great help to me. I have talked to a lot of great people and been on great shows talking about the stuff I love. I guess now am I the a-hole for abandoning my sick dad and cutting off the rest of the family? And P.S. I will try to answer any questions I can if anyone has any. I really just wanted to get this off my chest and curious to hear what others think. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
I just, it sounds like you're getting the help that you need with your mental health, which is always wonderful.
Yes.
So I'm very happy for that.
I really hope that your relationship with your dad improves.
Absolutely.
But that is the end of that story and the end of this episode.
What?
I know.
Wow.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
If you want more stories like this, search for our podcast, OK Storytime, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.